So what I think about the Phil Jackson, Carmelo Anthony tenure in New York that didn't work because they still exchanging words. Carmelo Anthony said that you so high and mighty, won't you step off that big old chair they gave you in New York as president and come down and coach? And Phil Jackson did not like Carmelo Anthony's attitude. That's not the first time. George Karl didn't either. Carmelo Anthony, in some ways, was his own worst enemy because, again, I always said he should have gone to Miami. He didn't want to be that dude that was cherry picking, but he ended up doing that to keep his stats going. Because when he left the Knicks, what did he end up doing? He was stat padding with Houston, stat padding with Portland, stat padding wherever he went. And people pretty much forgot about that he had 25 plus thousand career points because he just stat pad his way. And if he had gone sooner, maybe gone to Chicago with Derrick Rose and Joakim Noah when they needed him, or gone somewhere like Memphis or somewhere where he could have been the guy that just scored those points, and history would have looked at him because he was like that link between, dare I say, a Dirk Nowitzki and a Kevin Durant, and he just didn't finish it up. But what do I think about the strained relationship between these two? Well, Phil Jackson is can be quite he can be quite problematic in his own way. He can be quite puzzling, but I think he just sensed that Carmelo didn't have the focus on winning. And I think that by and large, Carmelo's attitude was that him and Amari Stoudemire came to New York and they were about seeing the city and the town. And I don't think it was about necessarily bringing a championship. And I think that when a guy who's had that kind of pedigree before is expressing that what you have to do to knuckle up and buckle down and get down, I don't Carmelo was not. I think Carmelo was like tied between what he was playing for the streets and about that. And I think his emphasis on winning wasn't always in place. And I say that I think Carmelo is one of the most important offensive players. I think one of the most impactful offensive players I saw with a natural instinct and could play it out play. But I don't think his gear was to necessarily winning titles. I think it was more self indulgence. And I think that's one of the reasons why he fell into the doghouse he did. And why Phil Jackson, him and James Jones said, if he stays, I got to go. Where have you heard that before with Phil Jackson? He felt that way about Kobe Bryant. And Kobe did change his stripes because he found out the hard way that life wasn't easy without a Phil, especially when he ran Shaq and Phil off and he had to get him back. And to an extent, Scottie Pippen. But the discipline of the players has changed, and you get guys who are like the way they are. What do I say about this? I think they both wrong. Um, my beef on it that is this. Carmelo wrong because though you could have been a freestyle. You could have done the Kevin Durant thing. You weren't loyal to nobody. Sad part about your career is that Denver Nuggets, there could be people who don't even know that you were number 15. They're only going to think it's Jokic. Your relationship with George Karl, who I think was your best coach in the best system, you could have brought something there to Denver. We'll never know. And then you just was chasing stars and everything. And you didn't really, you should have lined up with Miami. Should have played with LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh. I think it would have been benefited you because you ended up just going to New York and just basically becoming a part-time model. And your career, great talent as you was out of Syracuse. I remember when you won the title and you were the real rookie of the year. They gave it to LeBron. You should have gotten it, but we never got the fullness of your career in the NBA. And like much like Patrick Ewing, you were in the wrong place, wrong time. I'm with Walt Clyde Frazier. You shouldn't get your jersey retired in New York because you didn't win anything like that. And could have been, but you stat padded like you did most of your career. Should have put it to fruition. If you didn't go to Miami, you should have gone to Chicago or Memphis or somewhere, you know. And as for Phil Jackson, who some people think are racist and he has his issues, I understand his consent to win, but listen, man, you come to New York. Red Holzman was your coach when you won your chips. You put in your stock. Wouldn't you have loved to have stuck it to Miami and LeBron? You stuck it to the Celtics. You tied Auerbach when all those chips. When you could have stuck it to Pat Riley again if you had came down to New York or Jeremy Lin and Sandy and you had actually coached and brought something. Because you didn't get it done as president. And it was a big farce. And we know that anything unless you're coaching the capacity is just you stunting. So you both were wrong. And both of y'all took people's money in New York. Carmelo, you should have buckled down and encouraged teammates and got your game on check because that was your opportunity after Denver. And Phil, you should have came down and been the coach. We know that you both could have needed each other and you could have dispelled a lot. Both two potential situations that were forever lost. There's no winners in it. Wash your hands, keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share the video if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm on one time. Peace.